Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my number one tip to be unstoppable here in Fortnite. I'm going to be talking about something that you guys can use in every single game that's going to help you win way more gunfights and keep you alive a lot longer. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and as well subscribe to my second channel. The link for that will be in the description or the pinned comment. Turn on my post notifications and as well comment down below your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, if you guys would like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go over to the item shop, go down to support a creator, type in my code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. I really do appreciate all you guys who do add me. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to be talking about one specific thing that can really help you guys out a lot in gunfights. And this will keep you alive a lot longer in Fortnite, because that can really be a big problem for a lot of you guys when it comes to winning more games. And because maybe you guys feel like you're dying off spawn a lot more, maybe at the middle of the game you keep dying to the same type of things. So I want to be giving you guys a tip in this video that can really help you guys out a lot in that aspect. So for the gameplay in the background, I ended up dropping about like 15 kills in this game. It was a really good game. I also had a game later that day that I dropped 18. Absolutely went out. I haven't dropped the 20 bomb in quite a long time, to be honest, but I'm definitely going to be going for a 20 bomb, trying to get one within the next few days, because I really want to do a gameplay talking over that 20. But the one thing that I specifically wanted to be talking about in this video is going to be related to going into gunfights. And it's just something that not as many people really do too much. It's something that I do quite a bit, or at least from time to time, depending on the situation that I'm in. So the number one thing that you guys could do, that you don't have to do every single fight, but in a lot of fights, this can really give you an advantage. And this is specifically talking about maybe fights you got sucked into, fights that aren't the best, maybe you're low in HP, whatever the case may be. But being able to back away from fights and being able to disengage from the different fights that you're in. Now this could be something that a lot of people just fail to do, and for a lot of reasons. Some people feel like because they're in a gunfight already, that they have to finish that gunfight either by them winning the gunfight or the other person gets the kill on them. And sometimes this really isn't the best way, and there can be another option, and that's just to disengage from that fight. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, and there's certain situations in which sometimes it would be even better just to go for the kill instead of disengaging. And one of those reasons could be the simple fact that the other player is going to be low on HP. If you have a guy already really low on HP, you're better off trying to finish that fight. It's just not going to be worth if you have to spend all of your mats and all of your HP trying to fight a player just for them to try to get away, especially if you don't have any extra shield. If you have extra HP, maybe a chug jug, whatever the case may be, you have extra shield, then it might not, you could probably get away with disengaging from the fight and still be able to have a pretty good and high kill game. But for the most part, if you don't have any shield and you're already in the middle of a fight and you know the player is weak, then you're better off trying to finish that fight. On the other hand, if you are in a gunfight and the other player has, quite a bit of HP and you're still low in HP, then that's probably a really good way to get away from the fight. It's probably best to disengage from that fight, because most people, I feel like, just don't even think about this option. They feel like they have to end the fight every single time, and in a lot of cases, and this happens, I wouldn't say it happens every single game, but I would say every other game at least, there's going to be a fight or two that I get into that I just have a severe disadvantage. Maybe the other guy has crazy high ground on me, maybe the other player has way more materials, way more HP, and whatever the case may be for that. And sometimes it's just not the best option to go into that gunfight, because going into some gunfights are just not the smartest move, because the other player just has so much more of an advantage on you that challenging the gunfight, you could win, but it's going to be way harder to do so. And so there's a few different ways. I personally, the best way to go about it is to immediately play really aggressive. I like to go for high ground right away, but it's say in the case that they already have height and you're at a disadvantage, the different ways that you can disengage from the fight that I think is really important to talk about, And first of which is going to be the positioning that you're at. So of course, for instance, right here at Loot Lake, I do have the rift in the middle. So that could be a really good way to get away from players, especially because you can constantly keep jumping into it if you need to, because you're gonna have sometimes, if you're low in HP and you're trying to run away or you're trying to away from a gunfight, a lot of people are gonna follow you. And in a case where you're near Loot Lake, if you're able to get into the middle of where the rift is, it's going to be very hard for the other player to keep up, because you can constantly go in and out. Maybe you can go all the way over to Dusty, maybe even push towards Salty, and just completely get away from the fight. It's going to be so hard for the other people to catch up, or they might just lose interest in the fight and then give up on trying to fight you. And that could be a really easy way to get your HP up, maybe to find more loot, or whatever you would possibly need to have a better chance in that fight. And also, so you have positioning that you can use, like the instance in Loot Lake. I don't know exactly what's going to happen in Season 11. They might end up taking out the middle of Loot Lake, have something else. Who knows? I know by Dusty Divot, I think there's going to be like a rocket that's going to go off. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with the update. I haven't really looked into too much of the leaks, but I assume there's going to be some sort of map changes. And so for another example that you can use to disengage is going to be the grapple gun that you have, this bat grapple gun. I know it's going to come out in Season 11, but just for an example, this is something that you can use and hold in your inventory that can allow you to disengage from a fight very, very easily. And this thing is really nice because it has 10, it has crazy range, so you can shoot this really, really far. It's very quick to use. It has 10 grapples that you can use to get across the map, so that if you have one of these things in your inventory, you're almost guaranteed to disengage from the fight very easily. You just want to be careful you don't get caught too high in the air. Otherwise, some people who have pretty good aim can shoot you out of the air. So that's the one thing you have to be cautious about. Another thing that you can use is impulse grenades, and impulse grenades are very good. I would say impulse grenades are really good for just getting out of the scene very quickly. And also, I was going to say as well, the bouncers in the game are a very good thing to use as well. This is more for going for high ground, so maybe if you need to disengage for a quick second to get off an extra heal or whatever you need to, you can use bouncers. I think you can get up like 4 stories if you use one bouncer. It's either 3 or 4 stories you can get up. Either way, it's a very good way to get high ground, maybe a good way to get down from high ground if you're building up very, very high. So using these things can help you disengage from a fight, and then, because the whole point of disengaging from the fight is if you're in a disadvantage in the first place, because if you're already in the advantage, there's no point of trying to leave the fight. You're going to try to win that fight. And also another really good way to disengage from a fight that I haven't mentioned earlier, and this is something that I've just personally noticed in a lot of fights that I get into, is you have some people who play very, very aggressive, or they like to push very hard. And one way, if you ever want to get a player off you, the easiest way to do it is to pull your shotgun. I guarantee if you hit them once for like 100 damage, or you get one good shot on them, I guarantee you they're going to be backing off you very fast. So if you ever need to get a heal off or anything like that, and you don't have any sort of other options, I would say the best thing you can do is try to get a good shot on them, hit them for a good amount of damage. I guarantee they're going to be playing at very least a little bit slower on you. They're not going to be playing as quickly. And this is true for just about any gunfights that I go into. If I get a big damage shot on them, hit them for, I would say even like 100 damage, like a solid pump shot on them, or even if I crack their shield, 90 damage or whatever damage I hit them for, as long as I hit them for a good amount of damage or crack their shield, a lot of times they do back off, at least for the moment, and not play as aggressive, which can give you enough time to get off your heals. Maybe you can box up a little bit, wait for another person, the third party in that fight. So there's a lot of options you can do off of that, but that's one thing I've noticed in a lot of fights I've got into, and a really good way to disengage and just give yourself an advantage in that fight. Because otherwise, the person's going to play as aggressive as possible, and they're going to be burning through your materials, and it's just not going to be a good time, especially with the turbo building. And if someone's spraying at you with an SMG, they're probably going to get a few tags here and there. So it's just better off trying to go for that one good shot. And once you get that one good shot, they're going to be backing off a little bit, which is going to allow you to get off enough heals to continue in that fight. Or if you ever want to disengage, you probably could as well, because they're going to back off and give you enough space. And with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.